Thank you, Madam Chair. First, I want to thank you and the ranking member for this hearing. It's been absolutely fascinating and important, very important. And thank you for inviting me to Alaska so I could see some of these issues. I still tell people about arriving at a remote village by driving on a frozen river. That I'd never experienced before. And a lot of these issues are right on the front lines of the people of Alaska. Ms. Tierney, I loved your testimony, and some of the graphs that you present are just really fascinating. One that really struck me was Figure 5, where it basically has a line that says, this is where we would have been if nothing had happened in terms of utilization of electricity and sources. And what it shows is that 50% of the reduction in carbon output was because of efficiency, which we don't think of. We talk about solar and wind and natural gas and all these other things, but just using electricity, the cheapest, cleanest kilowatt hour is the one that's never used. And I think we need to remind ourselves of that, and your chart was one of the most powerful. Half of the reduction was from more efficient use of power. 1/4 is from switching to natural gas, and 1/4 is to the growth of renewables. So I think that's an important point, and I want to thank you for that. With regard to natural gas, the concern I have, and I've always been an advocate of natural gas, particularly as a transition fuel because it is so much cleaner, but it is growing so significantly. In New England now, it's 50 to 60% of our electricity source. I worry about overdependence. I think diversity is very important. And we're talking about a commodity that is at a very low price, but it's a price that can change. And that dependence, it seems to me, could create a serious problem if the price changed because of world commodity markets. Do you share that concern?
Yes, it may not be obvious, but I spent 35 years in New England. I lived in Boston for many years. I'm very familiar with the circumstances associated with increasing reliance on natural gas.
Like me as a New Englander, then you're probably happy that when the Patriots won the World Championship, it ended a terrible 3-month drought between World Championships for Boston and New England. But,
woohoo!
Go ahead, sorry.
So yes, I think becoming too dependent on any fuel is not a great idea. And the story that you're describing of New England's rising concerns about the extent to which competition for limited amount of natural gas, especially during winter, is a problem. You're either going to have to put it in homes, industries, and or power plants. So New England has been trying to diversify by looking at alternatives, as you know. And I think that's one of the messages I hear from everybody on the panel, which is don't choose some horses and then ride only those horses.
Diversity of supply is a key.
Absolutely.
Mr. Medlock, I want to ask you a question. Does the grid itself need substantial modification to support greater electrification? Now, it seems to me, for example, in transportation, most people are going to charge their cars at night. And as you know, there's significant additional capacity available on the existing grid at night and on off-peak hours. Talk to me about what we're going to need, if anything, in terms of modification to the grid itself. I'm not talking about energy sources. I'm talking about transmission and distribution in order to accommodate greater electrification.
There is a significant amount needed with regard to grid infrastructure upgrades, new investment, and the like. I think if you talk to anybody who's spent their career in the electric power sector, you never plan to the optimum. You plan to the suboptimum. And so you made a statement, everybody's going to charge their cars at night. Well, that's what we hope would be the case, but that might not.
Mine's charging right now.
Right, well, there you go. So, but the point is you actually have to have a grid that's flexible enough to accommodate the whims of the consumer, which are very difficult to predict.
So there will be infrastructure needs. I'd appreciate it, for the record, if you could supply some thoughts on that, what might be needed. Not for now, not now, because my time is running out. But if you could give us some thoughts. Mr. Kelleher, it seems to me, I mean, one of the things that's come out of this, storage is the big deal. It will unlock vast amounts of potential renewable power. You mentioned battery prices has come down. Where do battery prices have to go in order to make to be totally competitive with say a wind and solar plus battery storage system as you describe in Oregon?
mean, I think they're at a good price now where they make sense now. We're the biggest renewable company, wind company, solar company in the world. When we respond to an RFP for wind, we've started to say, well, we'll give you wind plus solar. Or if we're responding to an RFP for solar, we're saying, here's solar plus storage. And they look at it, so we're offering them a product different than what they asked for, and we also offer them the pure wind or solar product. And they'll look at the capabilities, and it'll invite a discussion about, well, what do we get with this combined product? And there's actually a lot of interest. It really comes down to, with storage, is what's the discharge period you're looking for?
Right.
You know, how
In New England, we need some batteries that would last 2 weeks in January. That's different than than an afternoon peak.
exactly, yeah. And we are actually building a storage project in Maine.
I know. And you're building a major solar project in Maine.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
I think
So battery costs per kilowatt hour of output is getting to the place where it's competitive?
it's competitive for certain uses. Now, it would not. There's not a 2-week, battery storage
Right.
project. That's what's changing. Is it used to be kind of a 2-hour product and then a 4-hour product, and so people are looking at, well, when will it be 8 hours? When might it be longer? What will the cost of that be? But the costs are still declining. I mean, if you look at solar PV cost declines, they've been almost
$70 to 50 cents.
and storage is experiencing a similar cost decline, and it's still declining.
And just to tie a bow on it, research money is critical, tax policy is critical to encourage this development.
Yes.
Thank you. Other kinds of storage, sure. Pump storage, thank you.